Our research was motivated by the increasing importance of international alliances for practitioners and for theorists. And we specifically wanted to know how firms can improve alliance performance by using socialization practices and task discourse. And we looked at the specific abilities of managers in terms of cultural intelligence.
In our hypothesized model, we assume that task discourse is an important mechanism to cope with task conflicts. These task conflicts can root in the different opinions and knowledge stocks in the international alliances. And through task discourse, the alliance partners learn to understand the other party and learn how to combine these different knowledge stocks. However, in international alliances, where we have cultural distance or geographic distance, the interaction is much more complicated, and these interaction problems can stimulate and trigger relationship conflicts. And these relationship conflicts can decrease or impede task discourse. So we need specific mechanisms to improve task discourse and to cope with the relationship conflicts. And in our model, we introduce socialization practices. Socialization practices involve interorganizational teams or joint workshops or social events through which the alliance partners get to know each other, their specific behavior, but have also the opportunity to get in talk and to communicate with each other. We argue that socialization practices improve trust and also task discourse, and therefore at the end also alliance performance. We further argue that the effect of socialization practices on task discourse and alliance performance depends on the level of managerial cultural intelligence. We have very, very interesting findings. Our sample consists of 148 international alliances of German firms operating in the photonics and in the biotechnology industry. And our results show that task discourse has a significant positive effect on alliance performance. What is very, very surprising is that these socialization practices have a negative impact on alliance performance and on trust and depends on the level of managers' cultural intelligence. So when the managers have low managerial cultural intelligence, socialization practices have a negative impact on trust, while we have a positive impact when managerial cultural intelligence is positive. So we were thinking about further context factors and made additional calculations, and what we realized or found out is that with increasing cultural distance, socialization practices get also become more and more negative on trust and alliance performance. And then we were thinking, okay, there might be specific constellation of nations. So we have German firms and their international alliances, and so we compared different sets. And what we found out is that in alliances between German and Asian firms, we have a negative impact of socialization practices, while we have a positive impact in alliances between German and American firms. So then we are thinking again, and we want to go a further step and find reasons for why these socialization practices are negative in Asian alliances, or primary negative in Asian alliances. And we did additional some interviews. We did 17 interviews, and we found out that we have different mindset and behavior issues that lead to this negative impact. I will discuss some of these findings. So one important finding was that the managers told that there might be irritations because of different task focus. So the German managers have a very high task focus, and they want to discuss the task and the business during socialization practice to go on with the business and that everything is efficient. But the Asian partners, they want during these socialization practice, particularly on the first time, to get to know each other, the other party, and to develop trustful relationships. So both sides might be irritated because the Germans are wondering why the Asian guys are not talking about business, and the Asians are wondering why the Germans are so direct and want to talk only about the business and are not interested to develop a trustful relation. And that is a very good explanation why socialization practices have a negative impact on trust in these German-Asian alliances. Another interesting finding was that the German managers described that they were very, very thoughtful in Asian alliances because they were a little bit aware of cultural differences, and during these socialization activities they were thinking how to behave correctly and not to be impolite. And yeah, this thinking about the correct cultural behavior takes or decreases the fun character and levity of the socialization practices. And that could also be a reason why socialization practices have a negative impact in Asian alliances.
Did you expect the negative effect by socialization practices? We didn't. So we hope that this counterintuitive finding will stimulate a further discussion and you hopefully got interested in reading our paper.
Yeah, we wish you have fun by reading our paper.